2019 November, paper 2, higher tier. Answer all questions. You must show you're working, and the total mark is 80. Question number 1. The table shows some information about the weights of 50 potatoes. So the weight in grams in one column and the frequency in the next column. Ivita drew this frequency polygon for the information in the table. The frequency polygon is not fully correct. Write down 2 things that are wrong with the frequency polygon. Number 1, there is no frequency label, or the y-axis is not labeled. So if you look on the y-axis, there is no frequency label on the y-axis and or no title for the y-axis. That's one thing which is wrong with it. Second thing that could be wrong, the polygon should not be closed or have a line at the bottom. You see the line there? That red line I'm showing there, there shouldn't be that. That red line should not be there. So you shouldn't join this first, the last, and the first point. That line should not be there. That's the second thing. And another thing is the point 15.6 has been plotted incorrectly. So if I zoom in, we want to plot 15.6 to be down here. I put in blue, but they've plotted it at 15.8 up there. So they've plotted that point wrongly. 15.6 has been plotted wrongly. That's some details which you might want to notice. So that's how you do that question 1. Choose 2 of these reasons and that'll give you the mark. Question number 2. The length of a pencil is 128 millimeters. Correct to the nearest millimeter. Complete the error interval for the length of the pencil. So we have 128 millimeters in the middle. We ask ourselves, what number can we round up to 128? If we have 127.5, we will round it up to 128, because if we put a line there, we take the 5, change it to 1, add it to 7, it becomes 128. So 127.5, we round it up to 128. Now we look for a number that we can round down to 128. We can round down 128.499999 forever. We round that down to 128 because it's less than 5. But we cannot be writing 0.4999. So we would just write 128.5. But we know the number has to be below 128.5. So we round 127.5. That's why we have the less than or equal to sign there. That means it includes 127.5. We round it up. We round down to 128, but not 128.5. So that's why we have the less than sign. It does not include 128.5. The number just before 128.5, like 128.499999. Question number 3. Tom and Adam have a total of 240 stamps. The ratio of the number of Tom's stamps to the number of Adam's stamps is 3:7. Tom buys some stamps from Adam. The ratio of the number of Tom's stamps to the number of Adam's stamps is now 3:5. How many stamps does Tom buy from Adam? You must show all your working. So we have a ratio of 3:7 in the beginning. After Tom buys some stamps from Adam, the ratio changed to 3:5. So we want to work out how many stamps he bought. So in the beginning, 3:7, we add 3 plus 7, that gives us 10. That's 10 parts altogether. And there were 240 stamps. So we should do 240 divided by 10. It gives us 24. Now, because Tom had 3, is to 7, 3 parts of the 3 is to 7. So 3 times 24, it gives you 72. So that means Tom had 72 stamps in the beginning. And how many stamps did Adam have? 7 times 24, Adam had 168 stamps. Now, and that was the ratio for 3 is to 7. Now we want to change the ratio to 3 is to 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. So 240 divided by 8 is 30. So how many does Tom have? 30 times 3 is 90. So Tom has got 90. So what's the difference between the 90 and the 72? 90 minus 72 is 18. That means Tom, how many stamps does Tom buy from Adam? Tom must have bought 18 stamps from Adam. Question number 4. Each person in a fitness club is going to get a free gift. Stan is going to order the gift. Stan takes a sample of 50 people in the fitness club. He asks each person to tell him the gift they would like. The table shows information about his results. So the gift and the number of people. So for sports bag, 17 people wanted for sports bag for gift. For the gym towel, 7 people wanted gym towel as a gift. For headphones, 11 people wanted headphones. For voucher, 15 people wanted voucher. There are 700 people in the fitness club. Work out how many sports bags Stan should buy. So 17 sports bag is required from 50 people. So 17 sports bag from 50 people. So if we change the number of people to 700, how do we get from 50 to 700? We can do 50 times 14. Or we do 700 divided by 50. That gives you 14. So it was 50 people, 17 sports bag. If we times by 14, we'll get 700 people. Now we do the same to the left-hand side, times by 14. So 17 sports bag times 14 will give us 238 sports bag. So for 700 people, you need 238 sports bags. Part 2, write down any assumption you made and explain how this could affect your answer. The first assumption, we could say the sample is representative. So those 50 people represents the 700 so that it would work. Or you can say the sample is random sample. You didn't pick a particular group of 50 people, it's random. Or the 50 people are from the 700, not another group where you pick the 50 people. And so that is some of the reasons which you would give to make sure your answer is correct, the assumptions you have made. Question number 5. Here are 6 graphs. Write down the letter of the graph that could have the equation y equals to x cubed for part A. Now, it's important to just remember or know what these shapes or the graphs look like and what their function could be. So the part for A, that represents y equals to x squared. That's the shape of y equals to x squared. If you put x is 0, y is 0, it passes through the origin. For B, that's an example of the graph, x cubed minus 9x plus 5. That's just an example. For C, it represents y equals to minus 1 over x. So your answer is F. The graph F represents y equals to x cubed. You put x is 0 and you get y is 0. So it passes through the origin. And if you put 1, you will get y to be 1. X cubed, 1 cube is 1. So it goes through 1, 1. If you put 2, it will go to 2, 8. So you can work out some coordinates to give you an idea, or you can just remember that that's the shape of y equals to x cubed graph. For part B, y equals to 1 over x. The answer is D. So that's the graph of y equals to 1 over x. The one that may be confusing with it is the one for minus 1 over x. So the graph for y equals to 1 over x, you can put some values. When x is 1, y is half. When x is 2, y would be, when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 2, y is a half. So it's important to be able to work out some values to help you determine which graph it is. And you should know E is not one of them because E is a straight line, y equals mx plus c. A is not one of them. A is a graph of y equals to x squared. Question number 6. The n term of a sequence is 2n squared minus 1, and the n term of a different sequence is 40 minus n squared. Show that there is only one number that is in both of these sequences. To show it, we need to work out the terms of the sequences, and we keep doing it until we get a number that is found in both of them. So let's start with 2n squared minus 1. We substitute in n equals to 1. So 2 times 1 squared minus 1, it gives you 1. We do next one, n is 2. 2 times 2 squared minus 1, 7. Next one, n is 3. 2 times 3 squared minus 1 is 17. N is equals to 4. 2 times 4 squared minus 1 is 31. We carry on and we go to the next n term, 40 minus n squared. We substitute 1. 40 minus 1 squared is 39. We substitute n is 2 for the next one. 40 minus 2 squared is 36. We substitute n is 3. 40 minus 3 squared is 31. We carry on for like 6, 7 terms. And we notice that there's 31 in both terms. So when n is 4, you get 31 for the first one. And when n is 3, you get 31 for the second one. So 31 is in both sequence. Question number 7. Work out 3.42 times 10 to the minus 7 divided by 7.5 times 10 to the minus 6. Give your answer in standard form. You can just put this in your calculator and it will give you the answer, and you can use your calculator to change the answer to standard form. You will use the number format in your calculator. You can watch one of my videos on how to use the calculator, the Casio ClassWiz calculator, to change a number in standard form, or to change a number from standard form to an ordinary number. You normally use the setup and format, and you use the number part of it to help you to change it from standard form to ordinary number. And your answer would be 4.56 times 10 to the minus 2.